Hey folks, what's that say? Return to normalcy. Okay. What was that thing they used to say at the end of The Outer Limits? We will return your television set to you. I guess I got one more minute. Before I start, I just want to say I hope everybody is doing well at home, everybody is healthy, everybody is still here. Thank you for joining me today. It's kind of a special day. I've got two shows today, one right now, and again at 5 p.m. I'm joining a festival, an online festival. It's called the Sequester Fest. Sequester Fest, and it'll stream right here from my page at 5 p.m., so come on back. My first set today, I'm going to do a lot of requests, maybe tell a little bit of stuff, some stories about some of the songs I'm going to play. I have like an 80s segment. I know a lot of people like the music from the 80s, so I've kind of put together a little thing in the middle of my set for that. But later, my 5 p.m. set will be mostly like the Joe Normal stuff and my hits, I'll say. That's, my popular songs. So today, right now, thank you for joining me. This first little song I just want to send out to all the teachers that are out there. I've got kids and they're both doing homeschool, the distance learning, I guess is what they're calling it now. I have friends that are teachers, and our little schoolhouse here in town has an alma mater, and I want to sing it to you guys, okay? Sierra Madre, school of my childhood, beneath the sycamore, I love you forevermore. Close to the mountains, blue skies above you. Sierra Madre School, you know that I love you. All right, thanks for joining me on that one. This first song is a request I had for Mockingbird. This one goes out to Harry and Deb and Mike. This song is about being a songwriter and having the expectation, I'm going to get something back for this, right? I do this thing, and where's my paycheck? Where's my comeuppance? You know what I'm saying? And this one day I was sitting at the table and I was in that sort of attitude sort of thing, and I got kind of a huge dose of humility. I looked out the window and I saw a mockingbird landed on the fence outside, and I just thought, you know what? Maybe I got it all wrong. You know, that mockingbird's out there all day long singing his songs for free, and I need to take lessons from that little guy. So I wrote this song right there at the table. Mockingbird, sitting up in that tree, making all that noise, yet nobody sees. You mockingbird, always singing so sweet, don't you ever get tired entertaining me? You spend your life writing song after song, when all of the time you could have sang right along with me. We're a couple of mockingbirds, singing our songs so sweet. Mockingbirds, but always singing for free. Mockingbird, living out in the street, never paying no rent or for the food you eat. Mockingbird, you make it look so easy, never falling behind to raise a family. Spend my life working hard to provide, and all the time there's a song deep inside of me. We're a couple of mockingbirds, singing our songs so sweet. never taking no leave without a day of relief. Mockingbird, singing tweedledee. I got no right to complain about the troubles I've seen. We'll spend our lives writing song after song, but you did it right and I did it wrong, you see. We're a couple of mockingbirds singing our songs so sweet. Mockingbirds always singing our songs so sweet. Mockingbirds always singing for free, free. All right, Mockingbird. I don't know about you. I'm a bird person, you know. Sometimes it's hard to put food on our own table, but I insist on feeding our birds outside. I've got a little bird feeder and I've got a hummingbird feeder. And, sometimes I just look out the window and it right sizes me to see the birds out there just doing their job every day, taking care of their family and just kind of, pollinating the flowers or whatever they're doing out there with the bees and stuff. But I'm definitely a bird person. Let me get a little sip here. Can you guys see me in the feed over there? Is everything working out? Maybe put a couple hearts. You've got some comments. You want to hear some songs for next week. I honor the comments I get today the following week. That's kind of how it works. It gives me a week to type out the lyrics and stuff. I'm terrible. I can't remember my own songs, so how am I going to remember Tom Petty? You know what I'm saying? So I got a request. This is for Zach. And Scott up in Modesto requested a little Tom Petty. I hope you guys are watching. Please, if you make a request, come back next week and watch, because I may do it or I may do some kind of version of it. Scott says, this is a long wait we got here. We were really waiting this one out, and this was the song that came around for that. You take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. Yeah, when I'm out to chase a couple when I'm around. Yeah, but all it ever got me was down. And then there was those that made me feel good. But never as good as I feel right now. Baby, you're the only one that's ever known how to make me wanna live like I wanna live now. I say, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. The waiting is the hardest part. Every day you get one more yard. You take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. Don't let it kill you, baby. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it kill you, babe. Don't let it get to you. I'll be your bleeding heart. I'll be your crying fool. Don't let this get too far. Don't let it get to you. Get one more yard. You take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. We're all waiting it out. I'll tell you, it's tough singing. It's tough to sing Tom Petty this early in the day. I don't know. You know, singing that in the bar might be even more difficult, you know, with, you know, if you're in Vegas and all the smoke and everything, you know, it's a different environment. But let's see. I'm going to do a little switch on the guitar here for a second. Give me one moment here and I'll talk to you a little bit about this next song. I've kind of got a Gretsch deal going, and Gretsch is kind enough to help me out with these guitars. I always like that triangle hole. It kind of reminds me of like the Edsel or something, you know. And this next song is called Don't Hurt Me, and I recorded this with the Anytown'rs. If you go on iTunes or whatever, you'll see, actually in the comments I listed like our iTunes for Joe Normal and for Joe Normal and the Anytown'rs. They actually separated this in two different areas. So if you like more of the acoustic stuff, you go to Joe Normal. If you like the more rock and band stuff, you go to Joe Normal and the Anytown'rs. But the links should be there in the description. And if not, I'll put them there at the end. But this song is called Don't Hurt Me, and this is for anybody who's ever been in a shitty relationship or in an abusive relationship or work situation or whatever. It's called Don't Hurt Me. Why can't you say that you belong to me? If you love me, don't hurt me. If you love me, don't hurt me. I stayed till 3 when you said you needed me. Say no when you wanted me to go. Why does it seem that you were meant for me? If you love me, don't hurt me. If you love me, don't hurt me. Can you show me that you really care? If you call on me, I will be there. But if you hurt me, I'll hurt you back. So if you love me, don't hurt me. that's for Tony and Tony Babylon and Tony Snow, anytown'rs. I'm going to get a little harmonica thing going here in a second. You know, I talked to my friend Danny this week, and I want to shout out to Danny Dangerous, Mr. Danny Dangerous. And he said when he was watching last week or so, and he said something that he thought was kind of cool about the show is that I go through some of my old catalog and I'll play a song from the past. And I got a request for this next song, and this is from the Hutchinsons days. And my buddy Mace requested this one, and I'm going to tell you about it in a second here. The song is called Elizabethtown. It's the song my brother wrote, and we played it in the Hutchinsons, but you can also find us online. It's in, you know, iTunes and all that stuff. Do they even call it iTunes anymore? Isn't it Apple Music? I'm so fucking confused. You know, I'm an Android person. You know, fuck. I used to use Music Match, and that became Rhapsody, and now that's fucking Napster. I'm so fucking lost. You know, just download it, please. Whatever you do, download. Don't stream, okay? If you already downloaded it, then you can stream. That's kind of how it works, because if you're streaming, we're making like 0.00 penny, not even a penny. It's like, what is that, a 1/100th of a cent? So when you download it, you know, out of that 99 cents, maybe the artist gets 65 cents out of it. So think about that. That would really be helpful. So maybe if, you know, 100 people out there could download this song today, you would help me this weekend with some groceries, okay? So what do I want to say about this song? Elizabethtown. And the Hutchinsons, you know, was my brother Jimmy, our bass player Glenn, and I. We played as a trio for a while, and we worked. My buddy Tom Faust was our producer, and he had a label called RTG Productions in LA, and then they moved to Nashville. And you know, we did like an EP and we put it out and stuff, and got some reviews. And I kind of wanted to share a review that I came across the other day. Pardon me, I got to put on my bifocals here. That's my bifocals. I came across this review of the Hutchinsons in Entertainment Today. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is from 1996. And I just kind of wanted to read you what this guy said. The Hutchinsons. It only takes a few notes of their eponymous debut EP to realize that the group lacks the strong presence of a lead singer. And you know, what I want to say after how many years? That was 1996, and something I've always wanted to say was, fuck you. And but I do want to give Mr. Cartwright some kudos down here, because of the last paragraph, after he, you know, I don't know what it is about writers. They got to find something negative to say, or they got to find the fault in everything. And it's rare that you find somebody who just takes it as it is and tells you about it, you know? And this guy kind of says a thing on the end here. It says, in a musical world where mediocrity reigns supreme, the Hutchinsons could nevertheless rise above the rest of the LA scene. They are strong in style and harmonies. Now it's time to see if they are strong in perseverance. And what I want to say, Entertainment Today, is I'm still fucking here. Thank you. So hold that note while I get my bifocals off, all right? All right. In Elizabethtown, the houses are built with aluminum siding to keep out the rain and snow. Nowhere to go. The 5 and 10s all have the same smell, like rumors from hell, plastic food and popcorn. In Elizabethtown, in Elizabethtown, in Elizabethtown, my brother was killed by a crooked cop who made it look like it was a drug deal. When Dad was laid off, he got a gold-plated watch for 25 years of hell. In Elizabethtown, in Elizabethtown, in Elizabethtown, in Elizabethtown. And said, don't look so bad from up here, but the view just wasn't enough to keep me there. Still had to get away. I still had to run away. All my life I've been searching for an answer. Just never knew the answer was here. Vigil at the station when the train zoomed by with John F. Kennedy, November '63, in Elizabethtown, in Elizabethtown, in Elizabethtown, in Elizabethtown. From the roof of my newspaper job, I looked out and said, it don't look so bad from up here. All right. Elizabeth is a place that I'm still running from all these years, man. I'm still running from. I'm running from the memories of the bad things that happened. I'm running from the responsibility of having to join the ranks of all the fathers in the factories, and I'm still running from that. And you know, life is still a struggle, but I will say, you know, I've found a way out of there with music, and I want to thank my parents for, you know, the couple years of piano lessons that we had when we were kids because you know, when I realized piano wasn't my instrument, I realized that guitar was my instrument, and that was kind of my mighty sword that I wielded to get out. Thanks for listening, guys. I've got another request here. This is kind of the 80s segment. I'm going to call this the 80s segment because a buddy of mine, Joe Servia, wanted to hear Boomtown Rats, I Don't Like Mondays. And, you know, I do play piano. I'm not that good, you know, and he was great on the piano. And I just thought, well, I can't play that song. It just doesn't sound right on the guitar. So this is where I get like accommodative with your requests. So if you just go with me on this for a second, all right? Sir Bob Geldof, you know, a few years later ended up doing Live Aid. But before Live Aid, they released the single, Do They Know It's Christmas? And he co-wrote that single with Midge Ure, who was from the band Ultravox. So I've kind of tied this whole story together, and I'm going to do an Ultravox song, and that's going to kind of kick off my 80s thing. And I'm going to see if I can get through this. I remember when this came out on MTV, I loved the video of this, and this was in the days where music videos were in the, I don't know, the hundreds of thousands of dollars. They probably spent more money on the videos than they did on the recordings of the albums. And I can speak for one that when our band finally got our first record deal, we begged and begged and begged for a video budget of, and they gave us a meager budget of $35,000. And think what you could do today with just like an iPhone and a laptop or whatever for $35,000. I record albums for a fraction of that. I stood, take my hand, take it all. You take my hand and give me your friendship. I'll take my time and send you my slow reply. Give me an inch and I'll make the best of it. Take all you want and leave all the rest to die. Read the wild wind. Read the wild wind. A footprint haunts an empty floor. Take my hand, take my hand. A fading coat that I once wore. Take my hand, take my hand. Oh, desolation where I once lived. I have seen in times gone by. I have found a different shadow on the wall, a stranglehold on a certain feeling. You take my hand and give me your friendship. I'll take my time and send you my slow reply. Give me an inch and I'll make the best of it. Take all you want and leave all the rest to die. Read the wild wind. Read the wild wind. You take my hand and give me your friendship. I'll take my time and send you my slow reply. Give me an inch and I'll make the best of it. Take all you want and leave all the rest to die. Read the wild wind. Read the wild wind. So there is your Sir Bob via Midjure via Ultravox. We got more 80s coming up for you guys. You know, the 80s were a special time for folks like me, and then I'm seeing there's another generation that are kind of picking it up and going with it. My buddy Tony Snow, who plays in the Anytown'rs, also plays in the band Dramarama, and I've had the privilege of joining Dramarama out on the road in many, many shows doing the 80s tribute concerts and festivals. They're huge, huge venues. I mean, we played a place in Colorado to 11,000 people, and that's the biggest show I ever played. And I got to say, in that moment on the stage, looking over First of all, Dramarama, who are also from New Jersey and have history going way back to the late 80s with them. And then Tony, who I play with also, and Mikey and Marky and Pete and everybody and John. Looking over at those guys and then realizing that when I was in high school, we had a little thing we had to write for our yearbooks, you know, what do you want to do with your life when you graduate high school? And my thing was to be the lead guitar player in a rock and roll band. And I remembered this when I was on that stage looking out at all those people, and they're in the front and they're yelling at you, yeah. And I remembered that in that moment. You know, I fulfilled my dream. And I want to thank Dramarama for including me in that. This next song is from my friend Christy. She requested The Cure. And, you know, while we're talking about the 80s, which is really quite a special time, what I recall from the 80s in the clubs was that things weren't so divided yet. There was not all the subgenres of genres yet. You know, that came later. I think that came with like the digital download thing, because people went, oh, well, I only like, you know, this kind of metal, you know, but well, what about fucking Black Sabbath, you know? But I'll keep chatting because you guys are listening. But in the clubs, what you got was there were people dancing to Madonna, and there were people dancing to like Boys Don't Cry by the Prince, by The Cure, Boys Don't Cry, and then you had Prince, and then like you kind of had like a cross section of music, and then you had like, I don't know, like Denise Wilson, and you heard stuff that was on the AM radio mixed in with this sort of like, you know, goth stuff that was sort of emerging and whatever. And this song, I always enjoyed this one by The Cure. Let's do this. See if I can get this right.
Yesterday I got so bold I felt like I could die. Yesterday I got so old it made me want to cry. Go on, just walk away. Go on, your choices made. Go on, and disappear. Go on away from you. And I know I was wrong when I said it was true, that it couldn't be me and be her in between without you. Yesterday I got so scared I was shivering like a child. Yesterday away from you was it deep inside. Come back, don't walk away. Come back today. Come back, why can't you see? Come back to me. And I know I was wrong when I said it was true, that it couldn't be me and be her in between without you.
That's the Joe Normal version. Another band that came along at that time, there used to be a channel that we would watch in New Jersey called, it was on the UHF. You know, you had your regular stations, you know, on the TV, but then you had like the UHF, which was kind of like, I guess before cable became a big thing, it was like the alternate to the mainstream. And on that UHF channel, they had channel U68 is what it was called, and they used to play all of the upcoming stuff. This is going back to '85, and it was before the stuff was like, you know, breaking through. They were playing The Cult and just like all the weird stuff you've never even seen. You know, I have like visions of some of these videos. I can still remember them, but the artists just kind of never emerged. You know, that's kind of the word today, emerge. But this one band and this one song really stuck out to me because it spoke directly to me as a guy who was doing music and really wanted to make it. And in this song, they kind of talk about that, and they talk about the people that got left behind and stuff. And this is I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna do this on the other guitar. But this band ended up breaking through in a big way because they came out to LA and they played at UCLA on a big, huge televised concert that MTV did, and I think it's really what blew them up. Here we go. Well, I find myself in reverie about what we might have had and what might have been. We had something going once, but that was such a long, long time ago. It was way back in '76, how a friendship formed with pure innocence. We first met in Matthew Street when we heard something that would set us free. A sign stands over the door, it says 4 lads who shook the world. In the depths of those heady nights, we would dream of those bright lights. Oh my friend, and my friend Johnny went away. Yeah, well he made some mistakes, spent time in Walton jail. And now when I see him, we still talk, but there's no light shining in his eyes. And Susie, she was 17, and more beauty in this world, I swear you'll never see. I was gonna be king, and she was gonna be queen, but now all she does is hide behind the tears. If there was more sense in this world, the world wasn't so hard to find. You would not be going your way, and I would not be going mine. Oh my friend, somewhere tonight out on the street, somewhere beneath the city's heat, and as the strangers pass me by, well love was cruel and so unkind. Whoa, whoa, the spirit of '76. And Peter's seen his dreams come true, but that don't make him no hero. He's just one of the lucky few. If a man can't change the world these days, I still believe a man can change his own destiny. But the price is high, that has gotta be paid. For everyone who survives, there are many who fail. I've seen my friends caught out in a crossfire, all their dreams and homes grow on that funeral pyre. I will never give in until the day that I die. Gonna get
get myself some independence. Carve out a future with my two bare hands. Oh my friend, somewhere tonight out on the street, somewhere beneath the city's heat, as the strangers pass me by. Well, life is cruel, it's so unkind. Oh, the spirit of 76. Mercy lights shine bright in the distance, same as they did for us then. Mercy lights shine bright in the distance. Where are you now, my friend? You see, some nights when I can't sleep, I still think of you. And all of the promises, all of the dreams we shared. And I know those lights, they still call to you. And I can hear them now. I can hear them now. Somewhere tonight out on the street, somewhere beneath the city's heat, in the eyes of strangers that pass me by. Well, life is cruel and so unkind. Oh, the spirit of 76. Mike Peters and The Alarm. Thank you for that song. That song still gets me through some tough times when I'm feeling down and I'm feeling like, I still want the dream to come true. Any musicians probably know what it is, But this is the dream, and I get to live it right now. And I thank you guys for being here right now. I'm going to keep moving. I've got some more songs for you. I want to say this is a moment where I'm going to pass the virtual tip jar. I have links to my Venmo, which is Joe-Normal. I have a link down there to my PayPal, which is paypal.me/JoeNormalUSA. It should be in there. If you don't see it, come back about 5 minutes after we finish, because I'll put it back in there just in case. Please dig deep. This is my new job. I was a music instructor before this, and I would like to say a music facilitator. I think probably the really good teachers know that you don't teach somebody to do something. You pull out of them what their gift is, and that was always my approach while I was teaching. And when this whole thing started shutting down, I realized that I could kind of follow the wave of people who were going online to do the online teaching. And it just, all of a sudden I started seeing guitar centers doing it, and Fender guitars are doing it. And it was just, the highway just became so crowded so quick that I decided to go the other way and go with my heart. And my heart is in doing this. I'm a performer, I'm an entertainer, I'm a singer-songwriter. I like to tell stories. I like to connect with people in a way to uplift your spirits. And this is my calling, and I decided to go with this. I know people say, Joe, when are you going to go back to lessons? And I ask you, please support me while I do this. And my family appreciates it. This is kind of my new job, at least for the time being. And this song here is a song I wrote. It's called A Cup of Coffee. And this is one that you'll find on the Joe Normal iTunes or Rhapsody or Spotify or whatever. But this is just kind of a simple song where,
I like to do my writing at the kitchen table. When I was writing this song, I just wanted to be in the mundane, just the everyday mundane thing in my surroundings. What was in my surroundings ended up writing its way into this song. And it's not a hit song. It's not meant to be. This is one of those deep album cuts. So indulge me for a second. A cup of coffee as I sit at the table. I sing a song in the morning before I get going. I've got a new tune in my heart, as I do every day from the start. And I'm gonna sing it out loud for the applause of the cat in the chair. A cup of coffee at the breakfast table, and I'm on the run again. I'm chasing down $1 again. Pretty soon I'll be packing it in for the foothills and footlights of some town that's so far, far from here. A cup of coffee, 'cause I'm feeling unstable. All alone and the house is so quiet and still. I reach for a memory or sing about some boring headline I've seen, staring back at me as some delivery comes to my door. A cup of coffee, and I'm thinking I won't be able to stand on my own 2 feet when I'm tired and poor. We got any other coffee drinkers out there? This is, I'm going to introduce you guys to Bopalina. This is Bopalina. I don't know if I've played this before on my live stream, but Bopalina is what I call the El Cheapo guitar. I think I paid $75 for this thing new. And it's made out of mahogany. The whole thing is mahogany. And it's kind of like a Martin knockoff. But I don't know what it is. Some guitars just have the songwriting magic. I could pick up this guitar and I write songs on it. And I don't know what that is. Any other songwriters out there experience that same thing? You got a special guitar that you write on? So this song here, I call this my We Are the Champions. This is a song that came about when I was really feeling down about seeing other artists. You know that expression, the grass is always greener on the other side. I've always wanted to have a bigger impact with my music and as an artist in the, in the world. I see other artists getting ahead, and I think, sometimes, don't judge me on this, because I think we all sort of have this sort of competitive thinking, man, I can do that, I'm just as good, or I'm better than that, fuck, this guy sucks, and look, they got millions of dollars behind this guy, and fuck, when am I going to get my break, every dog has his day kind of thing, and, that's sort of eluded me all this time, and I've made my peace with that, and I'm okay with that. But this was a song where I was in that mind frame that came about, and I like to think of this as my We Are the Champions. Lately I've been thinking about the trouble I'm in. No matter how many times I've been here before, though I thought I was done, I just went right back for more again. Though I thought I was done, I just went right back for more again. Still
that dream, the same old dream I've had since 19. Only this time I vow I'm never giving up. I won't surrender my ground before you all know my stuff. 'Cause this time for sure I'm gonna break on through untorn. Yeah, this time for sure I'm gonna make it through untorn. Got nothing to show for a life filled with 10,000 rock and roll shows. And every song that I sang through my teeth, I tried my best to conceal the pain I felt underneath. 'Cause I only wanted the same chance that everyone else had, though some were better than me. Most of them sucked it so bad, I gotta keep on pushing and believing in myself once more. 'Cause this time for sure I'm gonna make it through untorn. Yeah, this time for sure I've gotta break on through untorn. And this time for sure I'm coming out on top and untorn.
That's called Untorn. That was next on the list for songs to be recorded by Joe Normal and the Anytown'rs. So if you guys would like to help us get back in the recording studio, because we need to fund this project once we get back in there, please make a grandiose donation right now. If you like that song, please dive deep and dig deep and make a nice donation so we can ensure that that song sees the light of day in the recording studio, because I want to release that. I really have a strong feeling in my heart for that song. I think it may be one of those songs that speaks to a lot of people. I had a request for some Beatles, so I'm going to honor my request for some Beatles. This is for Alice in New Jersey. One thing I really love about this whole live stream thing is that people from all over the country and all over the world get to see it. And please go ahead, leave some comments. Let me know what requests you have for next week. And if you liked something I played today and you want to know what the song was, I'm going to put a set list at the end of this. And let me get to this for Alice. There are places I remember all my life, but some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I love them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you. And these memories you
there meaning when I think of love as something new? Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you more. That's for you, Alice. I love you. I love you guys. I love all my Jersey people. I had a request for, I've got 2 more songs here. I'm getting close to the top of my hour here. I'll tell you what. I had a request for Bruce Springsteen, for Johnny Cash, and David Bowie. And the Bowie one is going to be too hard to sing right now because I got to sing for another hour later. So I'm going to pull that one out later. So what am I going to do? Am I going to do Springsteen or Johnny Cash? Let me see. How about if I put the 2 together and I do like a mashup? Is that going to work for you guys? I hope you guys are okay with that. And all right, here we go. This little mashup. It's okay. I put these 2 songs together because I realized, you know, as a songwriter, you get to a point where you start looking back. You know, you've had your influences, but then you want to dig deeper and you want to find out, you know, who did they listen to? And I love going backwards, and you know, I kind of started in the mid 60s and went forward. You know, I can remember being a kid and we used to have like the AM radio station and they used to play the 50s, you know, and I loved all that, you know, do the mashed potato and let's go to the hop and all that stuff. But when I decided it was time to go back and discover 50s music, there were artists you didn't hear on the radio. Even still, you know, when radio had a lot more freedom in the 70s, you know, I discovered Gene Vincent, and, you know, you always heard Elvis, you know, but you didn't hear as much Johnny Cash, you know, in that time. And I guess, you know, artists that I was influenced by, like Springsteen, went back and he discovered artists. And when I heard the song I'm on Fire, I realized, you know, that could have been a Johnny Cash song. Maybe he even wrote it and wanted to give it to Johnny Cash. I don't know. But I decided to put that song and Ring of Fire together. So there's a little fire medley here. Did he go and leave you all alone? Got a bad desire. Oh, 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 I'm on fire. Tell me now, baby, is it good to you? Gonna do the things that I do? I can take you high. Oh, 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 I'm on fire. Love is a burning thing, and it like someone took a nap in the edging door to the 6 city valley through the middle of my soul. At night I wake with the sheets on wet as a freight train running through the middle of my head. Feel my desire. Oh, I'm on fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went high. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
You guys, I'm Joe Normal. Thank you for joining me here today. I'll be back at 5 p.m. Please come back. I'm gonna do all the Joe Normal hits and maybe throw in some funny stuff and a few other things. Please go ahead, leave some comments, leave your suggestions for next week. I would love to honor whatever you guys want to hear. You know, anything I can do to uplift your Saturday. I am considering also adding another day in the week, maybe a nighttime show. You know, some people are having their sequester parties. What do you call them? Their isolation parties, you know, and maybe some music on a Friday night or a Thursday night might be good. Let me know what you guys think of that, if that's something that's of interest to you, and I'll see what I can do about that as well. I'm really enjoying doing this, and thank you so much for supporting. I love you guys. I'll see you at 5 p.m. Come on back, 5 p.m. That would be 8 p.m. in New York, and what would that be? Another 2, that would be 10 p.m. in London. You guys take care.